The Untold Adventures of Biao. Season 1. Episode 33. Just receiving money from Mr. Gong the day before, the next day at dawn, many heavy vehicles were cleaning up the rubble of the elementary school. A lot of people came early in the morning to work. There were bulldozers, excavators and trucks. Mr. Gong and Biao observed from afar. Seeing the workers working hard made them felt reassured. Seeing so many workers and monumental machines like this, it seemed that the soldier tried his best, even putting in more personal money to support. This guy Sun Hao does very well. I see all kinds of heavy machines. I thought he'd show off a little. But look at it, it must cost a lot of money. He must have put in more money. That's right. This person is not only grateful but also a good person. Mr. Gong assuredly let the workers work and returned home. Regarding the man whose name was Sun Hao, it seemed that Mr. Gong was very sympathetic to him, so he happily told Biao the story. Dad, managing so many people like that, Sun Hao must be a big boss. How did you know him? Maybe Sun Hao has become a big boss. It was 10 years already. More than 10 years ago, Sun Hao was still a villager at that time. He was a soldier who enlisted in the army when the country was in renovation and liberation. By the day he was discharged from the army, his friends were doing well while he was still poor. However, thanks to his training in the army, he had the unyielding spirit of a soldier. After returning, he did not mind difficulties, alone growing grapes underneath the mountainside. In just a few years, he had planted a luxuriant vineyard. The business was also successful. He kept trying to spend a few more years tending, researching and developing the vineyard. When the harvest season came, Sun Hao really made a fortune thanks to his own efforts. Sun Hao's life was getting better and better. Not only that, but he also married the most beautiful girl in the village. Although he was rich and had many gardens, Sun Hao still loved the vineyard he started. So he invited an architect friend to help build a house next to the vineyard. Sun Hao, are you looking for me? You've finally come. I heard you've been doing well lately. Now you're the boss, right? Oh no. It's not that easy to be the boss. I'm just a lucky farmer. This classmate used to bring a few people from the village to the city to work as construction workers. It's heard that the business was also good. But in recent years, small teams were competed by big companies, so it was difficult to make money. Moreover, he just got divorced, so life was a bit difficult. Do you want to build a house? That's right. My vineyard is here, but my house is in the village. So it's pretty inconvenient. In addition, my house is also very old and will not be able to live in soon. Sun Hao heard rumors about his friend that he was in debt. So he asked this friend to build a house. The payment would be a bit higher than usual to help an old classmate. Okay, let me help you. Whatever you pay, it's up to you. What do you say? The payment will be acceptable anyway. I won't let you deficit. Rest assured. People with money have different ways of talking. Sun Hao was an honest and straightforward man. Since childhood, the two knew each other, so he could rest assured let his friend do it without hesitation. After making the decision, Sun Hao didn't think much of it. He was busy tending to the vineyard because many land plots had been cleared to build the house. This friend really did well. In just 2 months, he completed a spacious house. The house had up to 7 rooms and a garden, which looked very luxurious. Even though he had a new home, Sun Hao was not very happy. Since moving into the new house, his family kept being in trouble. At that time, Sun Hao's mother was at home. While she dried the vegetables, the weight hanging on the wall fell and injured the old woman. Her wound was quite severe and bleeding a lot. It made Sun Hao extremely panic. He lost his father at an early age, leaving only his old mother and wife in the family. Seeing that his mother had an accident, Sun Hao immediately carried her to the hospital, leaving his wife alone at home. After the old woman was saved and stayed in the hospital, Sun Hao arranged everything and returned home. He was tired from carrying his mother a long way, and he didn't eat anything as well. It was late already, and he still had to walk home. He walked on the road carefully. When hearing the sound of the car, he huddled close to the side of the road, but unfortunately, he was hit and thrown away heavily. Perhaps due to the late night, the driver fell asleep while driving. The driver panicked and tried to get out of the car to see how the situation was, but when he saw a man wearing the military uniform, he seemed scared, then turned around and ran away. Sun Hao looked at the moving truck, was extremely angry. He wanted to go after him, but he had injured himself. Although he had a strong body due to being a soldier and a farmer, he could not avoid injuries. He tried to drag himself to the hospital with a broken leg. This time it would take several months to recover. While he and his mother were at the hospital for treatment, the young wife stayed in the big house alone. Every night she dreamed of shadows and hundreds of faces walking around the house. Moreover, there were strange noises in the house. She was frightened to sick because of the nightmares and strange noises. Sun Hao had to leave the hospital early to take care of his wife. Sun Hao had to take care of his mother in the hospital while taking care of his wife at home, plus a broken leg. All those things made him more and more exhausted and so sick. He kept going back and forth between the hospital and home to take care of the two women and could not rest until late at night. But recently, his house was stolen, so he sat in front of the house to see who dared to steal. He sat guarding and fell asleep. When he suddenly heard the sound of chickens in the coop, Sun Hao waked up and discovered it was a yellow weasel. He looked closely and saw the weasel dragging a chicken in the coop. He couldn't imagine how a small weasel could bite a chicken to death without making a sound. "Damn it, I beat you to death." Sun Hao was furious. He had enough bad luck and fatigue already, so he couldn't stand for being annoyed by a small animal anymore. Although he wanted to run after and catch it, his injured leg had not yet healed, so he couldn't catch it. The next day, Sun Hao set up traps at the chicken coop's door and trapped the weasel to death. Sun Hao approached to pick it up. It turned out to be just a small weasel about half a meter long. As soon as the weasel was trapped to death, his wife, who was ill in bed, suddenly pushed to open the door. The wife looked scary. She held a sharp knife in her hand. Her face was pale and her eyes were red. Even her smile was terrified. "Your whole family is about to die. How dare you still bother me? Just because of a few chickens that you dare to set traps to kill me? Go to die." Before Sun Hao could understand what happened, his wife rushed to him with a knife and wanted to stab him. Fortunately, Sun Hao used to live in the military. His body was flexible, so even though his leg was injured, he could still control his wife quickly. He was surprised to see that his wife was suddenly so strong. He tied her up and immediately went to find help. "You are seriously sick. Stay there. I'm looking for someone to help. It's useless no matter who you find." At that time, Mr. Gong was still a famous healer. Sun Hao immediately invited him to see his wife's illness. "Mr. Gong, please help my wife." As Mr. Gong arrived, Sun Hao summarized the incident to him. Then Mr. Gong checked his wife's expression. He knew what was causing the problem. It turned out that she was possessed by the weasel. Mr. Gong took out a long needle and pricked it on the top of the wife's head. After pricking the needle, the wife stopped cursing but trembled and sat still instead. Mr. Gong instructed Sun Hao to take care of his wife, and then he went out. I have used acupuncture to suppress your wife's soul. You keep an eye on her." Sun Hao was still concerned about why Mr. Gong did not continue to treat his wife. But seeing the way of Mr. Gong was effective, so he did not dare to ask, just kept quiet and curiously watched Mr. Gong. Meanwhile, Mr. Gong did something in the warehouse.